Thank you very much, Alex. For me, I think that Team Synergy is going to be the decider, or it should be the decider. To add to Sean Gears' comments, I think that CR4ZY had some issues as a unit, trying to deal with things like we saw in Inferno, anti-eco situations, and things like that. So I feel like there are more exploitable holes, and I think that fnatic are one of the right teams to be able to do that. Whether that plays out that way, we will soon have to find out. Train's going to be an interesting one. I think it's not a terrible map for CR4ZY to start on, so maybe they can get an early lead here.
I mean, you said synergy, and I think experience is a really big deal for this Fnatic lineup because they are so incredibly experienced, and when you're playing a really important best of 3, which has a lot of pressure on it, and it's something where like small mistakes, they can compound for players that don't have that experience, and they have they don't have, or they're not used to that level of adrenaline. And I think Fnatic, they always look cool and calm and collected. I mean, of course, they're Swedish, and that kind of is just kind of how the Swedes look, so maybe you don't know what's going on internally, but I mean, obviously, like, these guys have won majors, and I think that experience will definitely help them across this best of 3. And I think CR4ZY, there's too many factors that have to go wrong, I think, for Fnatic for me in this matchup. But I mean, this is the stage to prove everybody wrong. I mean, this is the stage to when the pressure's really on, where sometimes teams actually find it's like the first match where they're like, hey guys, let's put ourselves on the map here.
We have seen Fnatic so far in this tournament with some less than ideal situations which they managed to come out on top of, like for example, JW getting 3 Deagle kills in a 1 versus 3 on Dust 2. You can't rely on those to be consistent, of course, but they've shown that they have the temerity to make those challenging for their opponent and have a high level of success with those. So they're not shy to win a really rough round, and it seems that we will be starting very soon indeed. So I think we saw the strafe numbers, and there is a heavy. Well, Fnatic are heavily favoured for this. I think they should be. But that doesn't mean that CR4ZY can't win.
You're dying, James.
No, you're dying, Dan.
That's true.
I just have a little cough because asthma, but seems that you're close to all your organs failing at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's fine. Fnatic will be on the T side. Crims and Exist will have the grenades, flashes, and smokes. Otton's just waiting. He's got a HE. If he's patient enough, then that could be very rewarding indeed. Of course, if he goes up the ladder, he could throw it over the top, which is a common use of a HE from the B-bomb site by CT. Hunter and Otton both with HEs, so Hunter's by Ivy, so he won't have a quick rotation. He's the only person really spotting on A at the moment, aside from Letney in the pop dog position. But I think it can be nice to throw a HE off the back wall to a default plant spot as well. So it's been a very slow round so far from Fnatic.
Yeah, they're really sweating out CR4ZY here. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because CR4ZY do have a lot of utility. And Fnatic just can't seem to bait it out. CR4ZY going to do it, throw it reactively, and here goes the push from Fnatic. Otto's there with the HE. Oh, that could be money. Oh my goodness, that is pretty damn good. Otto, though, he's going to be pressured here, very close. Oh my god, he's devastating them. They didn't stand a chance, James.
Beautiful use of utility by CR4ZY, but the round's not over yet. JW and Exist remain. There's for a few seconds, there'll be a range advantage with the USP. As you can see, JW with a headshot, but no frag. That's where the P50s come into play. Exist planting the bomb. JW holding down the choke point for. He's bought some time and he's put 2 players in the red. You can see Hunter's on 10 HP. This will not be easy. Exist moving back so he gets to 1 versus 1. He doesn't know where the second player is. You can see Hunter on the site. He's been spotted. Just 1 bullet away from Doom. Hunter dropping the smoke. He goes very, very quickly indeed. And there's no kit for Nexa, so surely he can't do this unless he gets a frag over the smoke. Oof. Quick jiggle from Exist, and he knows he's close. All he has to do is run away now, which he will do. It's a long path, though, so he has to fight now, but he's so close. Has he got it? He goes for the burst fire. Doesn't quite work out, but I think he might have delayed enough. I don't know if he's got this.
It is.
Oh, it's going to be a close one.
Oh, wow, I can't believe it. That's what I'm talking about, man. That experience from Exist is unreal. And from JW, the fact that we're able to turn that one around is incredible. Again, like, there's so many small things that happen there that Exist did right. So many small little decisions, such as when he gets that kill and then the smoke goes down. Well, firstly, the fact that he knows he has to fall back far enough because otherwise he can't cover all the options, and he just about manages to do it. And then understanding that smoke, or the variety of plays, and not committing to just spraying like a lot of people may do in that situation. Very, very well played by Fnatic. Exists someone that's really come into his own once again after after NIP were slumping for so long.
of the in-game leaders that can frag exist, and I think that's already a perfect example of fnatic turning things around when they're in a bad spot. 2 versus 4 on a pistol. That's where experience comes into play. Forced buy from Crazy. 1 scout. Sometimes we see 2 or 3. Next to spotting. Not really the ideal range to be using the MP9, so he'll get his knife out for some faster movement. JW is on the wrap in the meantime. There's a pop flash though, and Hunter will take him out. So that was expected. Nicely done. Next to cleaning up on the B bomb site so far. There's no answer here from fnatic.
There are some good positions, though, for fnatic, and that could make the difference. Even if you don't have numbers, positioning is everything. Although the smoke goes away, the double, he needed the double, I think. In comes Twist to try to return some kills, and it's up to Exist once again, but he can't cover all the options this time. And that's the round for Crazy. And that's so important as well, just stealing away the momentum back straight away. And if it was the case that fnatic had this start where they get 5-0 up or something like that, that is when I feel like, Crazy are going to have less resilience than the likes of fnatic. So it's really good that they managed to steal away the momentum again straight away. Although that said, fnatic surely will buy here.
Yep, I would expect a force buy. Just the Desert Eagles. They've got some good money in the hole. Excuse me.
You are excused. All right, actually, they're opting not to force it up. They're going to go for the Eagle save here. And I like this because you can, the objective here is just to pressure the economy. Make sure that you can get a couple of headshots in with those Deagles, and then you can be fairly happy. I've got to say, I'm really liking the hypnotic skin on the Deagle that JW's been using. I think I was first admiring it when TenZ was absolutely owning people with it at the Blast event just recently in LA. And JW's statistics in this tournament have been really good. Oh, it seems like we have a disconnect here, so there may be a technical issue to be resolved. We'll update you as soon as we get some informations. What is that box? Looks like a
shoebox.
Is it a shoebox though, or
It
is it
looks
like
like
it looks like it might be metal? Like one of those things, you put all your documents, important documents in. So if there's like a fire, like those documents will be safe.
Oh, I thought that was Google Drive.
Well, there's some documents you want physical.
It was a joke. It was a joke, Dad. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Relax. All right. Curious to see what can be done with these Deagles. Train is it's a good map to be eco on Deagles with because of the nature of the choke points. If you take a certain angle and your opponent chooses to engage, there's only so much space they have to jiggle left and right. So there's less area you need to focus on your aim on to try and get a headshot. So if you can bait your opponent into continuing to try and duel with you in a very tight channel, then it can be to your advantage.
By the way, quick aside, ever since you mentioned the pink on pink, it really it's getting to be James. I need to see something not a pink mouse or not a pink.
See, this is why you got to buy loads of different shoes, man. So you can get your contrast in.
Feels like there were so many possibilities, but none of them were enjoyed or experienced.
Pink on blue.
Pink on blue, yeah. Baby blue.
I feel like ZY must be sending some sets out to people where it's all the same color. But no, it's all about the contrast. Contrast.
Jumpy's a man that understands contrast.
Get the blue on top of the pink. Yeah, I think pink matte, blue mouse.
When in doubt,
that's the way around, not the other way around.
When in doubt, get the color wheel out.
Definitely, just swap mouse pad with one of your mates.
Problem is though,
make that change.
Swapping mouse pads can be especially if you use cloth, and you're using a mouse pad for a while, you might actually wear it into a very specific kind of friction that if you have a new mouse pad, it's going to feel very different. So.
We need to sell distressed mouse pads, like you get distressed leather watch straps,
right?
Which look aged. Get the distressed mouse pads out.
Or you can go for I was going to say a glass or a plastic pad because the pads won't wear, but the mouse feet will. You have to replace the mouse feet instead.
Maybe if you put a mouse pad in one of those older washing machines,
right?
Those classic washing machines, then. You can have a nice distressed mouse pad. Because somebody was talking on Twitter actually recently that they wish mouse pads arrived used when you ordered one. So you didn't have to wear them in.
Well, there's a service. Get a get a mechanical arm. You love mechanical arms, James. Just just wear it down a little bit.
A mechanical arm. What do you mean
Yeah,
by a
well, 'cause
mechanical arm? That could mean a lot of different things.
Well, because you don't want to be doing it yourself. You want a robotic arm, just like with a mouse in its hand, just wearing down the mouse.
Okay.
Although maybe there's other ways to do it than that.
Really reaching for the Brofist there. Had to go so far into his teammate's territory, into his personal space to get the Brofist. I feel like that was the most laboured Brofist I've seen so far.
I look contrast in monitor heights there between the big red box and the max elevation versus minimal elevation. I generally prefer, like when I'm like competing, I prefer like minimal elevation, kind of like how Exist.
So you want to look down at the mouse at the monitor.
Yeah, so you have it down, but then you tilt it up a little bit. Because I think for posture and stuff, it makes it a little bit easier for me.
Look at all these full-size mouse, the keyboards. It's really gross to me. I just don't understand it. It's just so many keys, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the super small ones, which is funny because that's what I use. But
what is wrong with you? I don't like the small keyboards. I use a small keyboard.
Yeah,
there's so much choice out there.
But I think maybe like 80% is that a thing. What's the one without the numpads?
Without 10 keyless.
10 keyless. That's what I think that's a good spot for me. But we're back into the match, ladies and gents. fnatic and Crazy. Crazy just won a force buy against fnatic, so fnatic to the force buying back. They're actually taking it easy. Bought a few deeks, looking for the headshots. They want to incur some damage. Economic damage is the name of the game here for the likes of fnatic. And you can see that they've spread out across the map to achieve this. And also, another way to achieve economic damage is just playing a really slow round, because the CTs will throw their utility, and that is just little tidbits of economic damage here or there. All lands up.
That's a beautiful HE. Doesn't do all the damage in the world, but it's still a great HE. And indeed, as I said before, look at it, how tight a channel Esperanto has to peak if he wants to engage one of these players in the choke point. So it is one of the better situations with a Desert Eagle, where if he can bait somebody into peak. But as you can see, the CTs have taken the aggressive angle now, so peeking into it's a different story. But if you have the angle before the flashbangs, then maybe something can be done. But those options have been limited by Crazy, so good work there. fnatic at this point have no grenades. I don't think they had any in the beginning. No Kevlar either. But in a round such as this, the CTs will often play further back. We saw a catastrophe, I think maybe it was with Crazy yesterday, where they tried to stop a bomb plant, ended up losing the rounds because they were too close. Oh no, it's a little bit too deep into the smoke, but the HE is unbelievable. The damage is ridiculous. Quick switch from Otton, and he will take one player out, and next will finish off the job. The HE was nice. The Molotov was almost a base in that respect.
What's been interesting is that so far Crazy have actually shown that they clearly talk about conserving utility, because in the first round, in the round just gone as well, they did a really good job of conserving their utility, and as I mentioned, that was part of fnatic's objective in this round, was to really just stretch it, really convince them that they're going to be running into the bomb site before they're going to be dumping everything. So I feel like even though they did expend quite a bit of utility, I like the fact that it seems like they are really trying to hold on to it, because that's a very important part of the CT side. And fnatic, with playing these very slow rounds, I wonder when they'll up the pace, James. They're saving it for a specific moment, I'm sure. It's always good to pay attention to pace. For example, if the T's are playing a really slow pace, for example, Letney, he's able to easily get into Pop Dog. If the T's suddenly go fastest pace, Letney can't get across the Pop Dog in time. He has to go and get cover from E-Box. You can't make the run. So that's like one way you can get a pick by changing your pace. Because also you're going to be conditioning the CTs not to use their utility early, so it opens up your options to get up the choke points quickly later on.
Very cheeky peek from Esperanto. Dropping an aggressive smoke. Letney can re-smoke that as well, used by the Pop Dog position. And that would be really ruinous, as is that flashbang. I don't know if you saw the other player that was in Ivy. And there's the re-smoke from Letney with 40 seconds on the clock, and fnatic are subject to these smoke grenades now. They're going to have to gamble. Flashes over the top, perhaps. Rohan walking to his doom. fnatic have not successfully got through any choke points in this map, I don't believe. Great timing on the flashbang from Crazy towards Ivy, and the smokes to choke them in this position as well. They're in a sandwich. There's 19 seconds though, and there's 2 versus 4. Everybody on the A bomb site now as Nexus starts to rotate. Are there still 2 players alive for fnatic? Trying to find a way to plant the bomb, but with Ivy control, there's just no way.
Okay, just going to be one left. It's success, but he'll get taken down in the nick of time. I actually do feel like, if all things considered, that was a relatively successful round. It looks like Fnatic aren't doing anything, but I really have to emphasize the importance, especially on a map like Train, of pacing, because they're playing a really slow game, and it gives them, as the example I already mentioned, that's one factor that's very huge when you switch up the pace later on. But also the other thing is that you get to understand some of the positions that the CT set up. Like if you just give them a perfect scenario where they can go anywhere they want, you start to get familiarity as to like, okay, what spots are they going to be moving into early rounds?
I don't think they should have got out of A main. I don't know where that flash came from, but if it was from Fnatic, then fair enough. Good effort. Expected. And again, there will be choke point issues here for Fnatic. Twist inviting the peak, that Hunter has the angle already. That's the strongest advantage there, of course, for the CTs. The bomb is not the focus anymore for Fnatic. They just want to make it expensive for Crazy. 1 kill's good for $6,000 of damage. But that won't happen on this occasion. So it's a comfortable start overall for Crazy, despite the losses in that previous round.
I feel like 2 things are likely for Fnatic now. I think because they have to, at this point, they have to win a round. They've not really been doing quite enough damage playing these slow rounds, and so now they can kind of use that pacing to their advantage. But that also could be very predictable. Crazy could easily read that. So like they must be expecting a change of pace because it's been so dramatic for Fnatic. So what the other option would be playing a set piece with Fnatic, like in the mid round. So you play like a delayed set piece outside, anticipating that Crazy might start throwing in early round utility because you've conditioned them not to so far. But then that's the chess game of Counter-Strike between the leaders. I think if Crazy win this next round, we start to get into pretty scary territory for Fnatic, and they're going to have to start completely switching up exactly like the style of play completely.
AWP for Twist. Exist, I'm sure, has a gun on the floor. I think he dropped the AWP for Twist. And Broland's got the Krieg. So the choke points have been an issue so far for Fnatic. They're not going for an early engagement just yet. Not trying to rush into the A-bomb site. Oh, that should have been a kill for Rotten. Strafing just before shooting. A warning shot, though, for Fnatic for the aggression to come. Crazy will not be shy. If they feel like they want to make a play, they will certainly do that. So Brand's looking for a dry peek from somebody. Got to be careful of his positioning. Could be a CT on top of the train, which can catch you off guard. Fnatic look to be clearing out the pop dog position. Oh, beautiful play. Well, actually, it was an interesting attempt. I think Vanguard demos are a good example to see the timing of that kind of play. Breland coming out a bit late. Letney could reposition from pop dog pretty easily and wait for Breland to pop out there. So I think the timing was a bit off for Fnatic, but the idea was right.
Yeah, they went for a default here, and it seems like they have been struggling to get out of these choke points. And the lack of pressure here on Crazy is discernible, James. It's right now they are like they look so comfortable. It's like they're not being tested even a little bit. They're able to sit on their sort of passive setups, play things default, and Fnatic aren't really able to force problems for Crazy. Yeah,
you could see Twist was reaching there. The barrel of his gun was exposed because he was so close to the mouth of main, which is why that pop flash came in from the CT. He's just delaying him while the push came in over the top. So again, it has been pretty textbook for Crazy so far. Again, you got a nice pop flash from Watson in case there is a push. Some spray. Oh, he's unfortunately trying to hide, but he'll take one in the face anyway. Next has got to be careful. Got to put his barrel of his gun into the wall. Pops out at the right time, but can't stop the bomb from crossing. Exist taken out in the meantime. Still a man advantage for Crazy as Esperanto starts to move close. Crim's going to peek in. Then he's double peek because, oh, there's a communication there. Crim's on his own now. 7 HP, 1 versus 1. Hunter's at the back. He knows where Crims is. Oh, surely he saw just a smidgen of him standing there. Crims has to peek eventually. Hunter just waiting for him to go up to the sidewalk. But the clock is ticking. There's a kit right in front of Crims. Hunter keeps creeping, but now Crims is starting to rotate with perfect timing. Hunter knows where he is. He was too low. There's the kit. There's a defuse. 5-1 for Crazy.
Yeah, and it was a good, considering the problems Fnatic had early in the rounds and the mid rounds and the late round, it was a good decision to kind of just try to win a round by just getting onto the B bomb site. They almost lost the round before the bomb went down as well. I think the player carrying the bomb took a 1 versus 1 and went down to like 10 HP. Had the bomb dropped there, considering the time, the round would have been over. So that was a very marginal for Fnatic. You can see they're struggling at the opening of this one. And again, we yet to see a really fast pace. We yet to see set pieces. And right now, given how Crazy are so confident and consistent in just playing default, you have to force chaos, and that's a good way to do it, is playing fast or playing with set pieces. And part of this could be, you know, it's part of the game plan of Fnatic. Maybe they expect Crazy to be very aggressive, and that could have been part of their preparation, and part of the reason, another reason why maybe playing very slow could have been beneficial. But they've been so rock solid so far. Here we go again. Surely this will be a quicker one from Fnatic.
Crazy have been good with the fast grenades into A main, which may be a deterrent for a fast play into A from Fnatic in the rounds to come. While Crazy are well equipped at the very least. Brilliant trying to make a play into the A bomb site, but it's just a solo play. The rest of his team are elsewhere, and with that, Crazy are moving a second and third player into the B bomb site. So it's a fast pace into B. Nexus taken out, but Ottom's there to trade. Smoke is up, and he'll have to start rotating. You could see Fnatic importantly moving through the bomb yards, but with the train yard rather, but it's not quite going to work out for them. Esperanto taken out by Twist. He's in a good position while the smoke is up, and maybe he catches Otto, who might be looking for him. Letney's there as well, so Twist can't push too far. The bomb has been planted, and there is a flank coming in from Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter, he pushed Ivy really quickly in this round, which is why they had a bit of a head start on the rotation. And Twist will take down Letney, and he will take over the connected position. That's pretty huge, but the bomb is not planted for him at all, so he might have to come straight out here. Exist, he needs... Oh, actually, too easy here for Exist. Very good positioning. Hunter was not expecting that, and Otto left without really any options. And Fnatic, with a much faster round, hitting B quite quickly, has worked out really well for them, but there is still a long way to go.
Yeah. Now, the damage they've done in the rounds that they've lost may start to pay off very quickly for Fnatic. It has been impressive, considering how bad those rounds have looked for them, that they've managed to get so many kills in the late game of those rounds. But indeed, we may start to see the value of those frags very, very soon. First, there'll be a tactical pause, maybe into Abacus time, try and figure out what the buy is likely to look like for Crazy in this round. But can they rely on that kind of play at them every round? A has more or less been on lockdown, even with the success they've had. I feel like if you run that back a lot of times, they're not getting those frags. So you need to figure out, maybe it's time to discuss, you know, for each player and the positions they're playing, what they've seen in terms of the formation of Crazy, what they've been trying to achieve, where the habits have been, and how they can exploit those in the rounds to come.
And if you're Fnatic, you're absolutely laughing because they had to convert a 2v4 there, a 2v4 after plant, and it wasn't easy to do. And them getting towards the bomb site, you know, it just didn't look clean. It just didn't look good. Nothing's really looked good for Fnatic so far. Again, I feel like we're going to start to see a lot of different stuff emerging from their playbook. And they were going to run out of money if they lost that round, but here's a push from Crazy. It's a great response from Crazy to get information and to get an initial pick. And look at this smoke. Letney just playing behind it with the UMP. The flash is perfect, though, which allows Broland to continue forwards, but Esperanto lurks with the Deagle.
Yeah, that's a huge opportunity for Fnatic. Potential variance, but you know, you might not be able to rely on a push like that every round. However, if you can break the money with it working one time, then that might be enough. Hunter and Otten 2 versus 3. They're lining up for Exist. He can't quite get the frag, but his team know exactly where all the players are. Flashes continue. Otten moving back. Got to be really careful about this. And there goes Hunter. Now Otten's going to have to save. And look at the money. It's all gone for Crazy. This is exactly what Fnatic needed. This is their way back into train and the A-bomb train as well.
So this was really interesting this round in the sense that Fnatic might have a lot of confidence towards A now, but and as you said before, Crazy had A on lock. They were doing really well when they were playing their default setups, but Crazy in the early round timing when Fnatic started to push into A, they had that push going on towards inner, so they were completely out of position to defend the A site properly. So I'm curious if Fnatic will pick up the A push again, maybe create a delayed round just to create some questions in the camp of Crazy, but try to go for that A play again. I think if Crazy do on the next buy do play at default. I mean, they've been experiencing a lot of success with that, so I feel like that's definitely a good go-to.
All right, Otton's got to be a hero with this AWP. Partly at spawn dependent. You can see he's by connector for the time being. And it's a change of pace from fnatic. They know an AWP lurks somewhere. They'll need to try and identify where that is, try and avoid it. But also you don't know if there's maybe an AWP in one place and a stack somewhere else. And you can see Otton's being very, very active, gone from connector to B and now towards Ivy. He needs to get a pick. He needs to try and get a rifle drop that maybe his team could pick up. And look at all these grenades streaming into the A-bomb site, limiting the peaks for the CTs as they move through the choke points. Ding dong from Letney. He's not spotted top of the train. Next are trying to play off of that. They won't be able to retrieve that gun anytime soon, and there's the AWP drop. That's a huge pick for fnatic. JW moving forward into the USP next with another frag. He's got 2 so far. This is a disaster. They've only got 1 kill fnatic against Twist with the AWP versus 4.
Oh,
That's not going to work out either. So much bounty for Crazy.
Oh my
2
god.
AWPs, an AK, and a Krieg from that round. What's in the blazes?
Oh my god, that's so awful. That's so awful. Oh wow, Fnatic are in trouble now. They're in a lot of trouble because that was a full save, and so typically in this situation, that effectively gives 2 buys, 2 free buys to, worth of money to
1 free buy.
the likes of Crazy. Well, they get all the guns. They were full save there anyway.
So, so they get 1 extra buy.
So they get an extra buy and they have all the guns they have. So all the guns in the world. This is kind of nuts that you can do so much with a USP. Oh, the last bullet as well. He's loving it. I mean, that is the A bomb side is kind of notorious for that on this map because there's so many sort of corners and it's kind of hard to. That's like it's actually funny because Fnatic were the team years ago that really showed how devastating like CZ saves could be on the A bomb side because there's so many corners that you can. And it's hard to trade because you have these long trains which are easy to kind of like jiggle from, but to close the distance, it's very difficult. So. Okay, 6-3 and Crazy stabilized. I can't believe they picked up 2 ops though.
That's unbelievable. After that round, they had to buy 1 rifle. That's crazy. No pun intended. I've got to find a new word. The HE could be good. Not too shabby. Oh, that's a lovely pick from Twisto. And needed. Fnatic got to take risks to try and get back into this after losing Crims early. See Esperanto by the stop sign. Fnatic will leave JW in situ to drop some grenades towards Ivy, try and pull the CTs in that direction, but they seem to be curious elsewhere. Nexa and Otton playing around connector on either side, B and A, respectively. They look for information Crazy, so there's JW showing presence towards Ivy once his teammates are in better positions elsewhere. See if that moves the CTs around the map. Nothing they haven't seen before. Esperanto happy with his off angle towards Ivy. You can see Letney in the pop dog. And quietly, Fnatic move towards B. JW's fallen back as well, so there's no further presence shown, although there's no peek from Crazy towards Ivy, so they just don't know. They don't have the information, which means they can't rotate too much. Brennan trying to make it look more like the A-bomb site. And maybe that makes Otton rotate. No, he's just holding down from connector towards B. Yeah,
it looks like Crazy have read this perfectly, which is actually very impressive. And straight into Otto's AWP. Next to there with the M4. Gets the headshot, and JW has to try to save this, but Lenny's there on the flank. This was actually a really cool round from Crazy. The fact that they actually read this, because Fnatic have been playing the game so slow, they could have just as easily been all walking Ivy. JW thinks. so amazing read from them. I mean, that shows their in-game smarts. I'm really impressed by Crazy so far on train. Again, it's always difficult playing against Fnatic. Fnatic have a style like no other team. Different timings, different everything. Oh god. What just happened?
There for a moment, then gone. That was some Silent Hill business from the observers. Well, what a turnaround. That one dramatic round. Dramatic round. I can't believe that. With so many grenades in the execute. But I suppose that's one for the demo, but they need to right the ship, Fnatic, looking pretty wobbly at the moment. And now it's a complete role reversal. The hero AWP for Fnatic with some deagles in tow versus a full equipped Crazy with an opportunity to build some money. Crim's taken out, no response. Also knows his angles, really nice start for him. Slightly weaker Fnatic now. They still have the AWP there on JW, but he may be waiting for a while. Now, they could go for a boost above B to look towards connector. If someone's standing on the train, like Otton, then yeah, they're going for that boost. So if they threw a smoke around connector, which you can do from this position, not while boosted, of course, it may bait a CT to get on that train to go for a pick, but Exist, well, he's in position, so he could do that. But there's no guarantee that the CTs would go for that peak, but you never know.
It's an old trick, isn't it? People are well aware of such shenanigans. There is Hunter defending Ivy. And I got to say, you know, fnatic have been struggling due to their opening a little bit. They were unable to really apply any pressure on CR4ZY. That's kind of that was the style that they chose. And as I said at the time, like it has impact on how the CR4ZY will read plays later in the match. But CR4ZY have been reading fnatic regardless. So in that sense, it hasn't really worked.
When Nexa is standing by that train, by the way, there's an awesome fadeaway flashbang to the lower area. If you walk backwards and release the flashbang, it lands just below the ceiling of the entrance.
Deja vu, James. This is exactly the last round went.
Yeah, it's a nice highlight, but ultimately they're going to lose another round.
Yep.
And the deficit gets larger, and they only have the AWP, but they can buy around it. He dies after time. He's got $400.
Yikes.
That is disastrous.
What do you buy? Molotov, P250, HE, smoke. Those are the options.
It's not a good look for fnatic.
2 flashes.
Not a good look at all.
2 flashes might be the play, actually. If his teammates go for a fast play, he can be like a guy just chain flashing.
3 rounds in a row for CR4ZY. You can see how many players they survived with as well. So things are looking good for them. Very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they've really, again, it's playing the CT side is all about reading the T side, and playing the T side is all about trying to make everything look like it's something else. So you can and then exploiting that very fact. And so far, fnatic have not been able to really deceive CR4ZY at all. There was one round which fnatic won, which was where CR4ZY went for their aggression up inner. And they just had players out of position. It was one of the very few rounds where fnatic went fast, and they managed to win that. The other round that they won was outside of the pistol, James. It was a 2v4 clutch after plant on B. So none of these rounds are really replicable. So that's kind of the problem.
Yeah. We'll not find consistency with them. Otton by connector again. This has AWP, and JW bought a smoke down, and he was gifted a P250 by somebody who felt sorry for him. Minute 30 on the clock for fnatic. We'll see what they choose to do with their grenades. Again, I think their timing of their pop dog punish was a little off if you compare it to, say, in a Vanguard, who was very good at abusing that position in general. Look at this combo from CR4ZY. Leaves Brolan in an awkward spot. If he goes down, that's going to be very costly. He's carrying a lot of grenades. Now we see fnatic trying to do what they can. Lenny with an off angle. The flashbang's perfect. Separates the plays in Pop Dog. The bomb's on the floor as well. Lenny can continue to pick. He's got support if he needs it. JW's found himself a rifle. And 3 players remain for fnatic. Starting to get frags now as they move through. And JW will quietly push, but he needs his teammates to stay alive. I think he was just seen by Otto, so now they've got some of the information. But where is Twist? We can see he's on the top. Otto has a good angle. Is he ready for the flick? Oh, he's just moved away at the wrong time.
Wow.
I think he's been spotted, though.
Yeah, I think so as well. But it might actually work out because, ooh, the delay, that was a shot you have to hit. It's going to create problems because now Otto could be Ivy. So they don't really know what's safe to plant. Twist obviously can hold that with the AWP, which he is. But Otto's actually stayed by Old Bomb, which is interesting. And Nexa's coming out of Connector. So there's a lot of options here for CR4ZY. As fnatic have to worry about so much. They only have a single smoke, though. And Nexa just straight up takes the duel against Twist and wins it. Nexa is on a crazy level of form at the moment. He's 16 for 3, James. He's hitting every single shot with that silenced M4, which I respect, because we don't see the silenced M4 as much sometimes as I'd like.
I think Nexa should have heard JW running now. So he's made a good effort to try and rotate and do the best he can. He's got no Kevlar, and it will be easy for Nexa to finish him off. It was a good play from Nexa because when he saw JW planting the bomb, obviously he can try and shoot. He can try and guess and shoot under the train to stop him, but they didn't know where he was, which is why Twist was by E-Box looking towards Pop Dog and main. He had no idea where Nexa was. They knew Otton was at the back of the train yard beyond Old Bomb, but they didn't know where Nexa was. So the slow play from Connector, The timing works very, very well. That was really good by him. Didn't concede his position for low value, and Crazy are now 9-3.
Yeah, fnatic have only won 1 clutch round so far. Or actually 2 if you can't count the pistol as well. For a total of 3 rounds. Nexa might hear all the stepping there. Understands it's a much faster play with the AKs, and they will just feed into Otto. He's going to have no problem at all just taking down 2 players. And oh, no, this is the worst feeling ever when you're playing Train. You lose 2 players straight away, or I mean, doesn't matter if it has to be straight away or not. That's pretty crazy. Oh, okay, I thought that was Brolan James with the wallbang, but no. Okay, well, Twist has used the Krieg to even things up. I was going to say, usually it's hopeless from this position.
That's Fnatic, though. They keep finding ways to get openings despite being in a really bad situation. We've seen it time and time again in this one map of Train. They are often, even with 2 players, they can still convert the round, as unlikely as it is and should be. Twist may be just seen by Nexa as he crossed. He needs a rotation. It's coming in fairly slowly, but Exist has been taken out. We've got 1 on the high ground, 1 on the low. There goes Brolan. They don't know where Twist is just yet. Holding angles, waiting for a rotation, which maybe he gets. There we go. Got a 1 versus 1. And he will go to the other side, or perhaps he won't. Molotov makes things hard for him. The only person with a kit is Nexa, Letney holding down the low ground while the Molotov deals with the high, and he won't peek in time.
Oh, man.
Again, another opportunity for... Well, they made an opportunity for themselves, but they just couldn't hold the bomb sites.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because if you look at the degree of hopelessness or sort of the struggle that they're saying, okay, we're so desperate, we're just going to try to... We're going to gamble that they're not having an AWP holding upper. Because that's kind of the thing. Upper's really, really strong to run along if there's no AWP in the CT's hands, defending that position, obviously. So they're just gambling at this point, and they've really struggled to make this T side work. Again, impressive from Crazy. They look like they're really, really on form. And here comes a faster play again, this time on A from Fnatic. They're trying everything they possibly can, every timing, every sight, but it is a bloodbath. Crazy just ripping them to shreds. Wow, James. We might see a 12-3 first half.
This is a fantastic start for Crazy, and because they're a heavy underdog, you kind of want to see this at the beginning of a best of 3. Fnatic not quite awake just yet. It's been a horrible experience around these choke points for them. And this last round does not look good. As many times as we've seen them give themselves opportunities and carve some potential out in some of these rounds where they've lost players early with Galils and UMPs and few grenades to even get through the choke points, we're asking a lot of them. Twist, AWP, no Kevlar. Got to be really careful about grenades in this position as well. Although they'll mostly come early over the corner of the Train. So a great 2K from Fnatic with the Krieg on a previous round, but there are no Kriegs this time.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because there's a lot of... oh, that's... Oh my god, adding insult to injury. Oh, just a free one through the smoke for Hunter. That does not feel good. It's going to make a point about the fact that Crazy haven't really needed to go aggressive. You'll see a lot of teams on the CT side, they'll say, okay, let's like work to pop flash and take over, you know, T main. You know, if there's like someone here, like Brolan, if there's a pop flash there, Brolan falls back, CD takes a position. They have to work to really get that position, and then you waste their nades, you fall back out, maybe even entirely right at the start. Like there's so many options aggressively that you can go for, but Crazy have been so comfortable not taking those aggressive options. We've seen it maybe twice. And Fnatic, oh, okay, a pixel showing to Hunter. He knows his angles, but so does Twist. And that is an opportunity now for Fnatic.
Maybe one of the, well, maybe the last one on this first half. That smoke is quite timely. Brolan, what can he do? He's got a UMP. And they are against the clock now, Fnatic. 25 seconds, and all of Crazy are on the A bomb site, but still Twist prevails. Second kill for him. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. You've got Otton creeping by that Ivy area as the bomb starts to move forward. I guess there's a smoke down there. Beautiful shot from him. He'll get traded, but there's 12 seconds now, and they won't win by elimination. Twist with 8 seconds to plant the bomb. Not going to happen. Nexa will deny him. Crazy with a huge half. 12 rounds from 15. We'll see if Fnatic wake up after the break. I feel like this music is like you're driving in Grand Theft Auto. You got the radio on. It's just like, you know, just jamming.
Yeah, definitely.
So you
GTA
drive into a
vibes.
fire truck and then the police are chasing you.
I even played the first 3 GTAs. After I went 3D, I don't know. It just was a different thing.
That's really weird. You're quite the gamer, and you're basically saying that you haven't played a three-dimensional.
Well, I played the
Vice
first
City.
one. I played the original GTAs.
Can we have a word with Dan?
The isometric GTAs.
Can people just tweet Dan and ask him what he's doing with his life, please? Hasn't played San Andreas or Vice City. I don't know what to say to you anymore. I've just run out of words. Fnatic have 3 rounds on the board. It has been a horrible start to train to this best of 3 series. It has been lacking coordination on the T side, I would say. Next, has he got 20 frags? Not too shabby. Well, I mean, when you win 12 rounds, you're going to get a lot of frags, so fair enough. Let's see what Fnatic can do on this CT side pistol. We've got Exist and JW with smoke grenades. So smoke and defuse for JW, which can be very useful on the B-bomb site. Exist holding the HE. Again, basically where he's standing is also where you do a fadeaway flashbang from, so try it offline. Just walk or run backwards with a flashbang. It will land very, very nicely in that position. I think I made a video about that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe it was all a dream.
Next has got a P250, which is always nice to see. Otton and Esperanto with grenades of their own. So we'll see an execute of some kind if they do go towards the A-bomb site. You can see the smokes are selected. In they go. One might be bouncing towards that IV position, which is so important to in order to plant the bomb. More on that later. Here we go. Numbers game for Crazy, but again, everybody's vulnerable to a headshot, especially the CTs once the distance is closed. Esperanto with a Glock will be case in point, and there's Hunter as well. Twist just slowly creeping around. JW running distraction, trying to plant the bomb. There's no time for that now. Got to focus on the frag. Otton with a very slow flank. He comes in from the IV position. Super important trade from Twist, and Exist will get one as well. 1v1. Hunter with 13 HP. Probably going to try and creep towards B bomb site and secure the bomb plant. Twist has fallen back to IV to avoid getting flanked. And there's Hunter. Get his knife out. Doesn't want to give sound cues. Doesn't know how close Twist might be. Twist by old bomb now. Hunter can start running, I'm sure. Very nice open plant. He could go anywhere.
Twist, it seemed like Twist already read this, or he was preparing for it by going towards old bombs. So he's obviously, Twist is so smart. And Hunter, he's in a pretty dodgy spot. 1 bullet is all it takes to kill him. And Twist is certainly a scary person with a pistol, with anything. And he's going in exactly the right spot, and this is not a favorable angle. He has to get that ding straight away, Hunter. Twist is so damn smart, James. From as soon as it hit 1 versus 1, it's like it did exactly the right things. It was just perfect from start to finish from Twist.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you can get close to connector. You can't plant a bomb in A. Even if you fake, you might get peeked before you can pull your gun out if you're in the wrong position. So he kind of has to go towards the bomb site. So it's a great read. Good positioning to go on the spools. And there is the round for Fnatic. And now maybe we've got a game on our hands. Again, now they have the luxury of the CT choke point if they can survive a potential force buy. It's unfortunate for him. If he's so low, he's unable to get around the corner to hide and play the beeps. If he could do that, then who knows? I think that's the emotion on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Twist just read him. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like when you're in a spot like that, sometimes you think, okay, I've got this. I'm doing the smartest thing. And I just love that, you know. I mean, Twist was also a player that we wanted to see in Top Flight CS for a really long time. And I've been really enjoying him in Fnatic. I'm glad that he finally got up there on one of the biggest Swedish brands. I think he always deserved a spot in a big Swedish brand.
Let's have a look at the spy from Crazy. Esperanto's dropped his 2nd AK for his team, and he's been given a Desert Eagle. So this is a pretty dangerous buy. Almost everybody's got Kevlar apart from Esperanto, and the AK's out for Nexa. The fadeaway HE will not do too much damage, but second one certainly will. JW takes Nexa out. That AK can be collected by someone else, but Otton is going to be eliminated as well. So far, so fantastic for Fnatic. 3 unanswered frags. And they can't even rescue the AK-47, so Brennan might get a free one. He's so close, moving forward. I think you've seen Esperanto. He won't last very long, and that is exactly what they needed. Almost no one through the choke point. They've been gifted some nice rifles, and now their opponent's on eco.
So I actually feel like even though Crazy got very crushed there. That was a very promising round for me. I've already seen like very promising like chain flashes. The fact that they have this timing with the pot flash to allow a player to get out to Olofmeister, and that is like a very good sign. This is something that Fnatic were not really able to do effectively. We can see that they tried to avoid doing it for the first like 6 or 7 rounds on their T side. They just ignored trying to go out to apply pressure through Olofmeister. We also got Molotovs towards E-Box. Like the pressure around that position, I think if Crazy run that round a few more times, they're going to have a lot of success. But you got to give it to JW. He hit some great shots there to really deny that with a FAMAS no less. And Crims on the scout, having a good time. So this should be a fairly quick one. Ooh, Esperanto. He's managed to collect an AK-47. So he's done some damage.
One man down. One man spotted by Ivy. Still comfortable for Fnatic. JW hungry for info. There's his info. There we go. Stereo frags for Fnatic, and now the game begins. They are 6 rounds behind their opponent, but they've got space to make this comeback. 4 rounds may feel like a lot for Crazy on the T side. So we'll see what kind of shape their buy is going to be in. As bad as the first half looked, this can be extremely different for Fnatic. I think it's a relief for them that the T side is over. They look happy. AWP will come soon enough. They didn't take too much damage in these rounds, so they're going to have a really strong buy, even if they get wiped out in this round, save for Brelan, of course, with $200. Otton down to 36 HP already. AWP, no Kevlar. Not how you want to start the T side. And with these grenades, Brelan will be flashed into main. He's going to eat the flash, though. So you won't see the play around the corner, but he's still pursuing. There's another one for him. Sees let need a pre-fire there. Continuation spray, and he'll just about hold on to it. Next, they're trying to trade with the bomb through a smoke. I think that was a mistake.
That was, and also not just that, but the trade was so late. It was not trade fragging spacing. So that's pretty bizarre. Maybe, actually, no, you know what? I don't know how to justify it. Maybe they felt like Brelan actually had pulled out of that position. Maybe he felt like it was safe to move there, but it's hard to say.
It's a big risk, and it failed.
That's a great pop flash. Wow. Yeah, it really is. And we mentioned this before. When you go down 3 versus 5 on this map, it's very, very difficult because the choke points are very far away from each other. So it's very hard to like effectively split the CT's attention, and without you yourself being extremely committed.
Did they even go for this? They may feel like they have to because they may die after time otherwise, but they are in such a horrible position. They lost the bomb in main. They've lost main, obviously. It's not really... There's nothing they can get out of this round. So Hunter's the early warning system. He's the man who will take the risk in case Fnatic come hunting to save the other weapons. If they can save all 3, pretty good spot for them, but you can see Fnatic start to move in. Crims, it's not a big deal for him because he's got a scout picking up an AK-47. Hunter will fall back. Now, Fnatic won't want it to be too expensive for them. It is somewhat suicidal to try and run into 3 players in this position.
I want to see a fake, James. Why don't we get any fakes on train? I want to see a fake from Crazy. It's a little bit crazy, so I feel like they should be the ones up to the
We saw a
task.
fake attempted from Fnatic when JW was Ivy, but he threw a smoke, but then rotated with his teammates, so it wasn't like the biggest fake in the world, and it was such a long time to rotate that Crazy didn't have the info because they had passive angles towards Ivy, but
I don't know, man.
it wasn't the strongest fake.
That's some weak fake, weak sauce.
I don't know if it was a well. It was to. I don't even know if you could really call it a full fake.
I think
to pull CTs out of position, which I guess is what a fake is, but you know, it wasn't like a fully executed fake, if you will.
Yeah, I want to see that, you know, just them trying to get out of A with the smokes and just hitting B with 3 or something like that. Those are pretty difficult, and the way you set them up is you run some set pieces earlier in the rounds. Some teams actually run a fake first, and then to really make it interesting. But here we go. We actually will get a contact play through, like when the smoke goes away, Crazy going to go for it. There's 3 players in Fnatic. They've read this, and they are going to get the frags, it looks like, Exist with a beautiful defense. He is so good with a rifle. He does not falter in the slightest, and there is no way in. Crazy are just in desperation mode now, and maybe they have to save again.
Seems that Crazy are suffering the similar issues that Fnatic had on their T side. Trying to barrel into the B bomb site, not quite working out, getting blocked by the smoke grenade, and then trying to trade it. Trying to use those numbers game as you should, but you're at such an advantage when you're on the other side of that smoke, just waiting.
Yeah, I mean, well, fnatic had 3 players on B, so fnatic seemed to have that read, and that's kind of that fnatic should be winning that round. If they have 3 players on B and you're trying to rush into the B bomb site and you have to go through the choke point still, then you're supposed to lose that round. And so CR4ZY have to do something on the map to not allow fnatic to have that level of knowledge.
These saves are pretty rough because CR4ZY they're having players survive with no money, but they've got no grenades either. So it kind of limits what CR4ZY can do in the buy round with their teammates. So, I mean, this is just a rough situation because it's eco territory, but they're going to have the money their teammates have now in the next round unless they can hold on to their weapons. So this is really helping fnatic move through these rounds as well because it's kind of handicapping CR4ZY's full buys. And
you may be wondering, like, okay, you know, why don't they just go and try to do some damage then? Or you know, play to die but do damage. In this on a map like Train, you are not getting any damage in a position like that. It's just so difficult to get through the choke points. If it was like a Dust 2 or you know, Mirage or some more open map, you might want to try to go for some damage so that you can actually stop this cycle, as you're talking about, James, where a couple players are saving all the time, because that really has long-term implications on your money and limits your options to run the strategies you want against the other team, and then that allows them to build a lot of comfort and momentum because they're not having to really worry about sort of being conditioned in various ways or like you really executing your game plan. So yeah, we've got this awkward situation. I mean, they do have max loss bonus at the very least, so we'll see if they can do something with the AWP and the AK, the AWP in particular. Must feel bad for Otto, he's been stuck without Kevlar for a while. Also with the Alexi B sticker. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
That is fully wrecked, isn't it?
Yeah, we spoke about that on the other side. AWP no Kevlar in A main, you can be susceptible to grenades. A HE, if you have no Kevlar, can do 101 damage. If it hits you and then explodes, it can do 101 damage in 2 hits. Letney with a very desperate shot with the AWP. So some damage will be done to the fnatic economy, but I don't know how likely we are to see more than that. I don't know if CR4ZY have that kind of fnatic X factor where they can just be in a crappy situation and somehow kill 2 or 3 players.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Again, Train things. Like, these choke points are so difficult to get out of, and you can have so many CTs that can just like look at any choke point altogether. They can all do that, and for you have to commit so much to split players off of it. But we'll see if they can make this work, if they can get that sort of fnatic-esque value out of nothing.
CR4ZY really needs to all die.
Yeah. Just
so their money is together, because all these rounds where they're saving and they just don't have the money together is really helping fnatic catch up, because it's handicapping CR4ZY from round to round. So there's 20 seconds on the clock. They've got numbers. They're using these smokes to creep closer to the site. Twist will look to block players as they try to push. Again, it's getting awkward for CR4ZY. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. We've got Hunter going for the information, but there's no trade in the right direction. They've killed 3 players though, but again, Letney needs to die, and he will do, running to his doom before he loses by timeout. But still, the money isn't quite together, so it's going to be another terrible round for CR4ZY in that respect.
Yeah, I do like what they've been like. I do like them getting out into the A bomb site. Like I think if they can get out of those choke points, and they've shown that they have some of the utility, that they know how to do that, then I feel like they can just deathmatch a little bit, cause some chaos.
Look how many people fnatic are surviving with.
I was just going to say that
they've won every round so far. The Exist has $12,000. Twist with $11,000. Again, it's pretty much a mirror. Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem. All these timeouts and saves have just made it so their money's not together. So they've had to have AWP no Kevlar in main, getting exploded by grenades, just lacking this or lacking that. So they've had to go for this buy and gift another round to fnatic. This was 6-12. But they've had to gift another round, essentially, well, most likely anyway, just so they can buy together.
Absolutely. It just saps your momentum strategically. But we'll get back to that. We've got the push coming into the B-bomb site. Maybe they can make this work. They've got to find some opening kills. fnatic will give up the bomb plot, but the flank from Broline will surely be a huge issue here. I don't think they're going to be looking for this. Indeed, they won't be. He's got 3 kills here down from Sidewalk. Oh, actually only gets 1. So still a chance here for the likes of Crazy. Esperanto, that's key.
This is a huge opportunity for Crazy. Obviously bigger before they started losing players because they got so much inroads, made so much inroads around the bomb train and the whole yard in general, but just weren't able to get the frag. So they isolated the player in connector with a smoke grenade. So there was essentially one person on the B bomb site, but they didn't manage to move into forward positions and get kills. That flank was really important and maybe slowed them down a little, even though it was just the one frag. So there was potential for more there from Crazy, but of course the main focus is on the buy rounds. They still have a 2-round lead, and finally they can have a full buy together.
Yeah.
And maybe this makes the difference.
Can only hope. I got to say though, this is very typical of Train. That, you know, if you have a team, especially that doesn't really specialize in Train, that, you know, they don't put a huge amount of their focus into it. If the T sides are always so difficult. Everyone can play the CT side of Train. Oh, speaking of which, JW will not be able to see over the flames, over the smoke, and there is the smoke from fnatic to block off the vision. Oh my god, Crim's almost going down there. That would have been a disaster, but he stays alive. And James, if Crazy going to win any round, it surely has to be this one.
fnatic have the money to survive if Crazy do win the round. Crims with the second AWP and 2 HP. fnatic have moved away from the IV position, so again, they're devoid of information in that respect. And they're putting a heavy investment into the B bomb site, which appears to be a mistake. Crazy lined up to split A from Popdog and main, but they don't know if anybody's in main, and they may have nightmares about that position. So Letney will have to put a rudimentary flashbang down. And those are some sound cues for a rotation from fnatic, but again, they have no idea. Crazy could have moved through Ivy, so that's going to make it easier for Crazy to plant the bomb. They've got a smoke up for the time being. There are 40 seconds on the clock. Exist moving around the smoke. Broline taking Otton out on the high ground. That would be a distraction as well. Exist so close. How's he not getting this frag?
Aiming a little bit too high, perhaps, and the chaos continues. The smokes will last just long enough there. Oh wow, Exist caught on the exit. They'll last just long enough there that Crazy get a 4 versus 2 after plant. Everyone's in position. Now this is not doable here for fnatic. They've got the orbs. There's no way to push forwards. Twist will pick up a frag though. Esperanto didn't need to peek. No one needs to peek. When you've got a 4-man setup after plant, you don't need to peek at all. But of course, you know, they do want to get the kills. They do want to get rid of those AWPs. But we know that that fnatic do have unbelievable amounts of money, so you do have to weigh that up too. Does Twist realize? He seems like he has an inkling. Spidey senses a tingling. Hunter really wants this kill. He might just get it, actually. Twist is scoping, and Hunter knows he's there, but he's so fast. And he will hold on to the AWP, but good round from Crazy there.
Even though fnatic have lots of money at the moment, it's not really worth them risking those AWPs because that is a hell of a lot of money that can be sunk from your funds if you lose those. So definitely worth them saving those for the long term. The 2 AWP survived. They'll have no issue buying around those. It's a nice round from Crazy, and I think they need that confidence. They need to know that they can actually succeed on this T side. So they extend their lead a little, and they're 3 rounds away from the first map, as unlikely as it looks based on how this half has gone. Nex has made his way very deep into the A bomb site, and I don't think Brian has any idea. He sees the shadow, and he sees the man. Out he goes. Be careful around these smokes now. Moving into variants with Crim's around Popdog. A nice shot from Twist as Hunter just walks into the angle. A free kill for fnatic. Now they are 4 versus 3. Esperanto trying to do something on the A bomb site. Crazy rotating to help him. Exist has been taken out by Esperanto, who moves to the all-off position.
Good calls there from Crazy to kind of run between the bomb sites. fnatic had read that they were going to go back to B. So Crazy, they kept, and this is what you do, you know, you set up a lurker whilst you're doing that, which gives you the option to go back if you need it. Esperanto did just that with that pick. And now JW is going to be landing a lovely shots. He's going to see, I think, defeat Esperanto with another kill down onto 14 HP. So weak, any one bullet would have done it, but Esperanto stays alive there, smoking off the Ivy position. JW will have to push that smoke if he wants to help out Crims.
Yeah, Crim's coming to pop. He won't get down there in time to stop the bomb plant, but he's been quiet this entire time. JW, they know where he is. They have no idea where Crims is, but they may have an idea of where he could be coming from. You can see the positions of Crazy. They've got Otton inside connector, so he's got some pretty good cover. He doesn't have cover to stop a bomb plant. No one does, actually. Esperanto is going to have to creep Really awkward stuff. You can see fnatic giving no sound cues away. They've both got defuse kits. Both AWPers missed their shot. Esperanto's gone now. He's going to have to shoot through the floor to stop this defuse from happening. He's got to fire a shot soon. They're on the bomb. There's 1 second. Takes a pot shot, misses it. And he's got to run away to save his AWP. fnatic back to winning ways, surviving with 2 players. And again, they've still got plenty of money. JW with $10,000. So drops can be made if necessary.
I'm surprised actually that Otto didn't go past the Molotov when it came in. I felt like that was the play he was going to make to try to stop the bomb from being defused. But looks like it will be going to fnatic indeed. Great shot from Twist. They were trying to fake. This was actually a round where they were trying to run a fake. Two men pressuring A with lots of smokes and then running 3 towards B. But obviously turned into a very different round, as they tend to. The money's starting to be stretched here by fnatic, or for fnatic, but CR4ZY would need to win more than 1 round to break them. It feels like CR4ZY, their best chances now. If they lose this round, life will be quite tough, there's no doubt about it. Very passive setup from fnatic. Giving up the front of the bomb sites. Just brought by the E-box position. Playing E-box makes it a lot more difficult for the Ts to get in. If the CTs are closer to the choke points, it's harder for the Ts to get out of them. So in giving CR4ZY so much space, CR4ZY should be able to get out to E-box, but the question is getting to the bomb site afterwards.
Yeah, but they need to know they have got the space. We've seen some off angles being played by CR4ZY on the first half around the E-box position, so they'll be wary of that. We saw some presence with that smoke thrown, so they may look for somebody there. I like the counter smoke as well. You used to see Automatic on Cloud9 play a forward smoke towards Popdog and use that for cover while looking towards a push from main. Letney gets taken out. Hunter's on the bomb site, needs some frags though. Might need a second one. There's a second one from Oton, and the bomb starts to get planted. Hunter with some great cover there, harassing fnatic, forcing them back. Twist missing a shot, and it's looking ropey for fnatic. We may go back and forth with some of these rounds. JW can't take Nexa out fast enough. Still on the bomb train. Exists. Is he position unknown? Creeping in Popdog. There's Hunter gone. But Nexus still on the bomb train, but now he's got to move because Exist coming in from Popdog. Takes the duel, looking for the trade fragger. Got to move at the right time. Nexus slowly creeping around in the middle now, but he can't find JW in time. And there is round number 12 for fnatic.
That is heartbreaking for CR4ZY. That was a round they should be winning, James. That was quite the clutch from fnatic. The clutches that they didn't have on the first half, we're finding them on the second half here. That was beautiful. And I thought that CR4ZY had that round. They looked like they had pushed fnatic to the limit. Fnatic were all out of position. They still find a way to make it work. Not done just yet here. I thought that we'd be seeing, you know, the start of CR4ZY taking this map over the line, but like whether they win this map or not, this is fnatic's pick. So that is something to remember. I was thinking earlier that I didn't expect fnatic to lose this series at all, but when I saw, you know, some of the performances here and the discipline from CR4ZY, I started to wonder. I started to think if there's a world that they take train, there's definitely a world where they can make this victory a reality, and that would be quite the upset. But we go 13-12, and the money will be spent in its entirety here for CR4ZY.
Yeah, this is a bad time to get into eco territory. But there is something to be done, at least if that is the case for them, since they have the round lead at the moment, so it could be worse. The T sides could hardly be worse for both these teams. It's been a really rough day. CR4ZY moving through the main position, using the smokes to make inroads, but the shadows, they're lining up for JW, an easy second frag for him. Makes it look easy anyway. Unresponded frags by fnatic. Nexa trying to creep. Otten will run distraction in the meantime. Got to be careful though, because Exist is creeping. They'll both miss a shot, but JW has more space to reposition. It's Otten who's got to deal with the choke point. On the top, through the glass, he gets taken out by JW. Beautiful movement from him. Lining up now to look towards Ivy. The flick is there, and it will be 4 players surviving for fnatic as they tie the score.
What a sick round from JW. He was in the zone. CR4ZY not with a way to trade him around Sandwich. That was a really big problem. You can see how much damage he was able to do, and JW really showing everybody there, you know, how powerful repositioning is. If you get a frag reposition, get a frag reposition. Not quite quick enough. Time to reload, and it's not going to work out for you. I love this, how like cinematic that is, getting the shot through the glass. Lovely stuff here from JW. Again, if you missed his recent interview on HLTV, definitely recommend checking it out.
Half buy from Crazy. I believe they've only won a single round in this half. 12-3 at half time. So the loss bonus will still be up there. So they are able to afford a half buy such as this. A number of CZs. Not all the smoke grenades in the world, but they've got plenty of chain flashes. The bomb's been thrown on the floor, which is a lot of information to fnatic. Now you can drop a rifle that makes the same sound, but you don't often see people using that as a fake. Roland will be eliminated. And they continue to creep towards the B-bomb site. Still are just 2 players here for fnatic. It's a nice HE, proactive from the Swedes. And Exist waits. Again, he's got enough cover to move back, should he need to. And he waits for the spray. Molotov to try and stop the cross, to try and isolate these players. Another one to limit the bomb plant chances. Letney taken out. There's a trade though from Nexa. Maybe that rifle can be collected. Twit's going to get caught off guard. This could really be a catastrophe again for fnatic. The Tech9 doing way too much work here. 2 versus 2. Brennan and JW well equipped. Can they get the frag? So far, so good. Running low on bullets, but he's able to reload. Nexa's got no position. It's all down to Nexa now. And he'll need to move if he can get this frag. He doesn't know where JW is. He has the information, JW, down to the pistol. The bomb's planted default. No grenades for Nexa, but he's got the angle, but he's running low on bullets. Down to the CZ, JW going around the corner now and again. It's not planted for Nexa, but there's no... Oh, there is a kit for JW, but he has to try and bait Nexa in. He knows he's off the bomb, back on the bomb again, back off the bomb. Nexa creeping around the corner. He's running out of bullets again, but JW still off the bomb, down to the knife, and he's got to run away.
Down to the knife. What on earth is that? There was actually a rifle that you could have picked up a couple along the way, but what a round from Crazy. That Tech9 from Esperanto, when do you firstly see a Tech9, and then secondly, when do you see it win a round at this level? I just don't even...
Unreal. That was the half buy. That was the buy between the buys.
It seems like that's always the way, isn't it? Like, you know, team struggles, they can't seem to win buy rounds, but it's the round with Tech9s that does it.
Only their second round, and look at it came at such a crucial time.
They did lose.
Crazy.
They lost everyone though, James. So their buy is going to be limited.
But that was a half buy for them.
Oh right, of course
that was a half buy.
What was a force buy?
That was a Krieg and a bunch of pistols.
Limanek. That is spiffing.
So it gives them some more room to breathe, and it puts them in the lead again. But the money was there for fnatic, but now it starts to move into a critical position after this buy, and it's a big buy. 2 AWPs, the M4s, plenty of utility. Do wonder if Brolan will be flashed into main once again. You can see Crazy apprehensive, not going to get too deep into A main. Maybe they've got nightmares from the HEs that came before. Grenade sailing into Pop Dog. Maybe an information flashbang there. They don't hear any firing, but anyway, we've got an execute into the A bomb site, and fnatic have got to deliver on this one, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. So far, so good. Crim's taking Esperanto out, but they haven't realized that Hunter is right behind him, creeping towards the bomb site, and there's a trade, and Letney will get stereo frags for Crazy. They've got a man advantage now as they continue to move towards A.
What a critical opportunity here for Crazy. Bomb goes down, the time pressure up. JW once again with a close range shot to take down Hunter. Now it quiets as Crazy sit on their positions and try to work out where the remainder is. And that's a nice kill coming in from Twist. The kill back onto Exister will even things up. And it's double AWP retake against the AK-47s. They can't afford to miss a shot. And JW spotted. He won't miss a shot. But can he get out of it? Not quite in time. All those efforts trying to crouch will not work out for him. Letney now in the clutch. Can he do it? Yes, absolutely he can. And what a round. It couldn't be better, James. They're on 15 now. I can't believe it. I thought that I didn't think there was a way back for them. They've been struggling so much.
This is an absolutely wild game of Train now in the late rounds. Bearing in mind the fantastic CT side that Crazy had in the first half, fnatic's has been almost equal to it.
Buys.
But Crazy are just slightly ahead, and indeed the buy is turning a little bad. Crims with the auto shotgun. He can use that if he makes his way towards the Pop Dog position, for example, and he'll look to do that with a HE flying towards main, but I think he's been spotted. Esperanto moving towards the Olaf position, but JW will take him out in the right position. Bearing in mind, Twist has a scout. The AWP's in a really good spot. Early man advantage for fnatic.
JW's been amazing on the CT side. He was struggling on that first half, but on the CT side, he's been instrumental in all of the A defenses with that AWP. And I like this off angle there from Brolan behind Emox. Crim's trying to play that auto shotgun. How much will it be worth in this round? Crazy going for the rotation back towards the inner bomb site where there are 2 players and a fast flank that can be offered indeed from the likes of Crims and also Brolan. So.
Oh no! Oh, just in time Exist. Forced to play more forward than he likes to because he's got the MP9. presses Q at just the wrong time. People like their gun to feel fresh. It's a crazy tick, but it's an old one. Hunter in the middle of the site. Not sure if he was just spotted. Smoke to create some space from Nexa. Twist taken out. fnatic have to prevail here. Otherwise, the first map is donezo. Got Crims on a flank with the auto shotgun. He's got to be careful. He's got to find the right range, and he might not do. Look on the upper area. He's too far away. Crims can't even fire from that range. It would be pointless. His teammates could run distraction, though. He's looking for some other players, and he's about to find one. Beautiful shot back of the head. Hunter's got more work to do now, and Otton will help him. Now it's Crims. He finds himself an AK-47. He doesn't have a kit, though. He's got a smoke, and the bomb is surely too far ticked. He has to hold it, but it might not be time. I don't think it's going to happen for him, and Otton will take it away. And there is the first map for Crazy.
And what a crazy game it was. Firstly, was very impressed with how solid their first half was. And I was thinking to myself, at the end of it, I was like, okay, hang on. If they're going to win this map, it's got to be that 12-3 half. They have to get 12 rounds on that first half. And they managed to do it. fnatic had a really slow start and, well, slow first half in general, I guess. And they got 3 rounds. And Crazy, they're able to convert. When everything looked hopeless, it just descended into madness. It's like they threw away the playbook and like, all right, guys, let's just get in there.
Yeah, that was really cool by Crazy. I think the CT half was pretty good. I think that it must be said that fnatic's T side was lacking. There was not as much coordination as you would like to see, but what a great comeback attempt on that second half. Just some awkward rounds won by Crazy with a Tech 9 on the B bomb site, able to close the distance versus the people playing back to try and avoid that from happening, but Crazy won enough rounds.
And this really makes this series interesting, but looks like it's time for the interview on the stage.
No, it's not an interview on stage, Dan.
Oh,
it is over to the desk. It's only one. It's a best of 3.
Oh my God. What's wrong with me?